Hey, GenderqueerChat. This is a preface for my video because I made it and I noticed afterwards that the audio is a little bit different because there's a setting on, and I've also been sick lately, so I'm feeling better now, but my voice might still be a little weird. So I think this segment has this right sound setting off, and that's usually what I do, but there's background noise. So definitely let me know if the rest of the video makes sense, if you can hear it, because there's the right sound stuff and stuff like that. If it really doesn't, then I can like remake it in some other setting or whatever. But yeah, I think it came out well and stuff, so let me know if it works. Alright. Also, check out my did a little bit of artwork today. I just kind of wanted to point it out because it's so fun. I usually do stuff on my hands and things, but I did it on my body today. That's kind of cool. I have like a circle with lines. It's great. Alright, that's it. Yep, rest of the video. Hey, GenderqueerChat and viewers. It is Tuesday, and I'm Andria. So, alright, I guess I'll get right into the topic. I'll find it. So, it's a pretty cool topic. It's kind of looking back and stuff. So, the topic this week is from QueerFan, and it is how accepted do you feel in your local queer communities, especially if you're read as straight men and women? So, that's a good question. So, the first thing that I want to address is the non-existence of a queer community where I live. So, yeah, that's basically the simplest way for me to answer this question is that I don't have a queer community where I'm at, and that kind of sucks. It's very kind of isolating for a queer person. There's just not a lot of places for LGBT people in general. So yeah, that's a little bit desolate as far as that's concerned. I think there might be like one small group that that I found like online some time ago that apparently would meet maybe like once every month or something, but it's like a whole like it looks like it's like family oriented stuff, and I'm kind of a dark person in a way. So I'm like, I don't know, that would be good, like, or in like family settings or something, just because I'm more about like being around people that can relate over some different issues and stuff. So I don't know, that's about the most community I think that would have, and I think it's really mostly like for gays and lesbians, which is cool. I could still relate there as like a pansexual person, because there's definitely aspects of my sexuality and stuff that I could where I could like relate with other people in that way. But I got the impression that it's like a really small group, and I'd have to call and then have them screen me or something like that, you know, and see if I could get in, which is, you know, I probably would, but there's this issue of transportation as well, because I have to pretty much walk everywhere I go or get a ride from my dad still. So yeah, so I don't know how accepted I feel in the queer community, because I don't think there really is one, and if there is, it's incredibly small and not really a part of it, because it's more centered around lesbian and gay issues. So I think the thing that I can probably address even better really is if I include online spaces like this as local queer community, because this is pretty much my actually local queer community is the internet and like YouTube and all of that. So as far as that goes, I think it's been really awesome. let's see, I was signed up for YouTube like a long time ago, but I really started being more active and understanding my transness and stuff like that was really the starting point. I think like a few years ago now, so um, things kind of evolved as far as community went, and like the people that I would like relate with and talk to and stuff like that. So it remains a little bit minimal in a way. There's not always that many of us and stuff like that, but I think it's pretty good now too. When I started, I found that there was like I kind of identified more as just a trans woman, and the whole like MDAF type thing, which I kind of don't use at all anymore, although I still appreciate like a trans feminineness. It's a kind of trans leaning that way. But I really used trans women a lot, and the other trans women that I found were mostly kind of, I would say, a little bit overly concerned, no offense to them, with things like passing and their appearance and just kind of generally fitting into the binary and looking like cis people and trying to be like cis people and other things like that, which I found to be rather shallow and unhelpful, even though I kind of tried it for a while. And that sort of killed the femme in me in a way. It was a little bit rough. But that's another thing. So yeah, acceptance from them specifically, I think I kind of, yeah, like I felt accepted by some of them, but I think I had very, very different goals than them, or just a different sort of outlook on things, like being trans. And so I sort of moved away like from there, so I wasn't particularly rejected, but it wasn't all that great. And just being like the internet, and there were times where I faced some assholes that were terrible about some things, but I learned from that, and I grew as a person, and now I don't really get that kind of thing, and I could take it at this point. So yeah, so that was a little bit rough, but that has nothing to do with acceptance from the community specifically. So yeah, I don't know. It was mostly really accepting. And then I found a great place, which is on YouTube here, called Training Star Galactica, and they've been really awesome. I love them so much. They're really cool, and they were basically like the center of everything of my online community. So I kind of just, would comment like every week and stuff. Yeah, and I feel like they were really, really nice to me. Everyone was awesome, and yeah, that's been really good. And they can like relate over different trans issues, and that's really how it was a very like important part of my processes of understanding what it was to be trans for me and for other people, and that kind of thing. So I think that's only been really accepting. And then I guess more recently, I moved over towards being around more genderqueer people, which is something I was aware of for a while, and I've been sick, so I hope my voice is okay. I'm doing my best. Yeah, so I moved more towards like genderqueer spaces, I guess, which mostly includes this place, GenderqueerChat. And that's been really awesome. You guys are great. So I don't know what can I say. Definitely, like pretty much all around, I felt an acceptance from the queer community, and that's really awesome. I kind of went from a very, very hetero space, and with lots of denial and some misogyny and terrible things and stuff like that, to just being like, I have to leave this and be on my own for a while and get away from that stuff, and I did. And like shortly after that was then this like realization of some things came up, and I came out of denial and stuff, and that brought me to like looking into things more and finding the YouTube community. So yeah, So that wasn't exactly a queer community, but it was much more around like real people then. And even then I found some acceptance. So that was good. But there was also some terrible shit that went on, so it was like, but online is good. And I'd imagine that in an actual like, excuse me, in an actual like space, you know, if I could go to some queer center or something, if there were one in this town, then yeah, I'd probably be pretty well accepted and stuff, and I think it would be really awesome and very helpful for me, because I don't really get to have like real-time conversations with people, and I just do this kind of monologue-ish stuff, and I listen to other people's videos, and that's immensely helpful for sure, but not quite the same as being in a real physical like space with other people. So as far as that goes, I don't even have that kind of community. So I can't really exactly speak to the acceptance in that space or how I'm being read. But yeah, that's basically that. As it relates to being read as straight, a man or woman, I get that more from just this is kind of world out there when I go out. But I think for the last year or so, it's probably more like I definitely am read as like not binary, really, which is really cool. That's like perfect. So, yeah, because I guess the easiest way I could tell if I was being read as probably like straight male, man or woman, would be if I was getting surd or missed, and I don't really get either of those, although sometimes I get surd. But I think that I'm probably read as like a gay man or something like that sometimes. But I feel like just how I look now and stuff like that, and mostly like behaviors and stuff, will give the impression of something else. So people don't really seem to make a strongly gendered connection with me. So that's good. In queer spaces, I just come out, you know, I just like say the words that I use now, which is mostly genderqueer and trans, pansexual, you know, and that's about it. And then I feel usually accepted for that. So, yeah, that's, I think that's all I gotta say on this. I'll go over this and see if it actually sounds okay, because I know my voice is really fucked up. I've been sick for like 3 days and feeling a bit better now, so yeah, that's about it. That's all I gotta say. And I really hope it made some sense and wasn't too long. So, alright, I hope you all take care. Looking forward to your videos as well. Alright, peace.